moment a aggressive play doesn't work, he needs to go, boys, we're stopping it, we're doing something different.
Yeah, because that can be, like you're saying, what we're talking about, the tank overreaching. If your entire team overreaches and gets shut down, especially if they lose their main spawn point as well, like we saw again with Semper Fi and Debris, is that they can literally get to a situation where they're back to their flag, the enemy is literally all over the flag, they take the flag, they then start getting the sets, which is important, and as a result they can never get back from that. And that can be a very important thing as far as these teams are concerned. So here we go, we're at the good lax and have funds, and we should be underway now. Obviously we just want to make sure we've got all the guys in the both sides, and we just want to make sure that, just to clarify, there we go, so you've obviously got Cav who are in as the blue team, and we do have their opponents, the esports fellows, on the red team. So take it away, Wild.
So as we see here with the blues moving up, but fairly central, we've got the reds going with those kind of long flanks here. Two people have gone river, but they're just too slow off the mark. The tank has taken ages to get into position here, and the reds have allowed 1stCav to set up a wall, absorb the first couple of hits, and now they're slowly pushing into the flag. And all we can hope is PP here, it's just a name, it gets the kills that he needed to do. He knocks the people off of top plat there, which is really good. He's taking the attention of the tank, and hopefully the rest of his team, like Timothy and Stubborn here, can move in and cap the flag. And that's the play you need to make. You need to have that one guy going on the flank, hitting those guys off top plat to allow your team to move in. But again, they're just too slow. They're just too slow at the moment, but it seems to be working for them, so I'm not going to hold that against them.
Yeah, I would say, looking at this at the moment, you can see the Cav guys trying to make their way in. They've got to be, they are being a little bit cautious, and it looks like Stubentega has just taken out the enemy, and they looks to try and consolidate that point, and they're actually forcing the tank to stay back. So you've got TMB655s in there as well, and you've got Timothy TJ, and I think we call him De Pepe rather than De PP.
De Pepe.
Yeah, exactly. That's just wrong on many levels.
Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who cares? It's the English language. But you can see now it's a case of, if you look at Timothy T, or Timothy TJ, he's actually in there being quite aggressive with respect to that flag defence. And you can see he's trying to cut down anybody who makes their way in. He then gets cut down himself. But look at this, they're starting to challenge the flag, and this is a moment where the 1stCav can actually get in there and actually do some damage. It's going to be interesting to see if they manage it, Wild.
Well, it's not going to be worth it if Ordsdrab here goes down or any of the 1stCav guys go down, because with the red team have now won the first set, it's going to reset everything, and we're already seeing them push in and, you know, starting to cap that flag back. We've got Mick here doing a good job, but he just took a massive hit to the side, which has taken his engine and tracked him out. He needs to be careful because, again, we've got Timothy, who has been an absolute beast before moving round. But running into a firing line of 3 players doesn't exactly help. And we're starting to see 1stCav get a bit more form in this game, denying the Academy guys a few easy kills.
Indeed, so it looks like now Lock on Mick in from 1stCav. He's starting to now push up. And it looks like, oh, there we go, a little bit of hot tank on tank action as the two tanks are trading fire in that central point. But I think it's fair to say that because the Hupsucks Academy's guys have actually got their tanks sort of more close to the centre, it gives them an advantage. But look at what Mick's doing, Wild. Look at what Mick's doing.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. He's just pushing right down the right-hand side. The rest of the players are moving with him. 1stCav need to be careful not to leave the left two open, which they have. And again, this is that gamble. They pushed all of their players to go for that Charlie flag, and it's only going to work if they can capture it. If they can capture Charlie, it's going to force that Bravo flag to be locked, and it's going to mean that the Academy guys are going to have to turn around and fight towards their spawn, which isn't ideal. And especially with Mick just going absolutely ham, and I think he's going to get a roadkill here. Nope. Again, it was close enough. I mean, it goes down to Olympic charge, and it's 2 easy points to the Academy guys. But again, with 1stCav capping Charlie and getting 2 flags from it, and potentially 2 kills.
Yeah, that's going to be a difficult situation for them, obviously. 1-1, it's just about to tick over there. 2-1 in favour of the 1stCav Esports Club. And it's a knotty situation for their opponents, the Hupsucks Academy. You can see the flag is now being literally followed up on all directions as these guys are moving in from multiple locations. This could be a very, very nasty situation for the members of Hupsucks, and that's going to be a problem for them. They've got additional fellow moving in. He's literally coming under fire as soon as he actually pokes his head out. That's going to be a problem for him, as he's got to try and get in there, get the spawn as best they can. But the thing is, they've now literally been forced back further and further and further, meaning getting forward will be in a tougher situation for them. Meanwhile, the clock is against them because that flag is still ticking over.
Well, I mean, they're in a great position, okay? 1stCav might have to start from the very beginning, and they might only have one guy there at Charlie. But you got to think about it this way. They lose Charlie. Okay, great, you've lost Charlie. And he just goes and defaults back to Bravo, which you control anyway. So you've got the time to set up a line, prepare a bit of a defense, absorb that attack at you, and then push back and just do the exact same thing that you did before. And 1stCav playing this very, very carefully, and I don't know if you notice it, but the gameplay is so slow now compared to the first few sets of the game.
Very much so. Kind of gone into turtle mode, I think you could say, under the circumstances. And it is a little bit more sort of defensive play, because they've got to be very careful about moving forward, because otherwise they're in danger of losing possible spawn point. At the same time, as you can see now, the C point is being pressurized by the likes of Ozdrab, and now you can see IMV 655, in fact, I almost promoted him, moving out. But you've got Amoeba coming in and essentially picking off any members that are trying to stop this push onto the final flag, and he gets taken down very quickly indeed. Let's see if we can lock into them from the point of view of the free cam and see. Looks like the C point now being captured. We're now moving back, and it's 3-1 in favour of 1stCav.
And this is what I said before, is although 1stCav have lost, they've lost Charlie, they accepted that. We saw Kaplan set up a nice defensive position around the flank, calling the all clear to Mick and Amoeba to push in from the left, and it's giving them some buffer room. And even from just holding that Bravo flag and keeping the Academy guys busy on Charlie, they've managed to get a huge amount of flag points, just passive income basically, which they haven't had to work for. It's just been coming in for them, and this is going to be one of the teams. 1stCav, pardon my voice there. 1stCav are definitely going to be one of these guys that you're going to have to watch out for, because they're going to slow the pace of the game right down, and these fast-paced teams are going to really struggle.
Yeah, that's one thing you do tend to see, is one of the advantages, obviously, with gaining, if you gain initiative in the match, great, but also is forcing a team who's not used to playing slow to play slow. It completely throws them out with respect to what they're doing. They can't keep, because everybody has a certain speed of game, so to speak. A lot of people play quite fast, some people play quite suicidally, some people play quite slowly. But, like you said, it's about whether or not they can actually get the team to play the match on their terms rather than the enemy's terms, and that could be how the advantage can be turned. Now, we look obviously in TMV 655. He's supported up by my Sebi, and you can now see the Pepe himself making his way in as he just tried to stab the tank. I don't think that was going to work somehow, but yeah.
It does go down to Steuben's anti-tank grenade, though, so that's 2 nice points on the board for the Academy guys. And 1stCav have lost their form a bit here. If you guys at home haven't noticed, they were very nicely set up before, moving like a Spartan line all the way down to that Charlie flag, and the Academy guys have got used to that slow gameplay, and they're turning on the head of 1stCav, and 1stCav don't know what to do at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's maybe they were sort of hoping for a little bit more of a window with which that they could actually play that advantage. But saying that, half time, 4-3, very close indeed.
It's not bad.
Pretty good, really, considering how it started off. But if we look at the sets with respect to the scoreboard there, look at the difference in that sort of early start and midpoint of the match. How much better they did than their opponents. And then obviously their opponents brought it back. The Central Powers brought it back for those last sort of few sets. And
well, they went 2 sets. I don't understand how 1stCav can go 2 full sets and only get 1 kill.
Yeah.
Absolutely mind-blowing how you could lock a whole team out for one set, like set 2 here, and even set 4 was pretty bad for the academy guys. And then all of a sudden you can just turn on the speed, go absolutely turbo mode, and get 2 sets and deny the team every kill opportunity possible. Absolutely mind-blowing, dude. Absolutely mind-blowing.
It is just a little bit, yes. Now, let's just check. I'm just checking the overlays. Sorry, guys, for the slight strangeness on the stream, but it looks like the second set of overlays does not appear to have updated properly. So I've got to work on that to get that sorted out. And the overlays are there in there, and we thank the guys working on the league for providing those overlays, and obviously just a bit of a technical problem there. I'm not sure what's happened with that. Very strange, wonderful world of the internet, how we love it. So, 14 seconds and these guys will be underway any second. Now, let's just see. Raid leader is Wiznat, or Wizniat I should say, and control leader is mysebi. So, those are the control leaders and the commanders and the spawn points for both of these teams. And let's just see how they roll out. Now you can see what looks to be a 2-2-1 split, obviously the tanker at the back. And it looks like also, yeah, a 2-2-1 split as far as the opponent's team are concerned. So you can see, look at that. Oh my goodness, look at that. One cav, the first cav got themselves in there pretty quickly. Out come the smoke grenades to try and obscure their movement. And we're looking at Destroyer Amoeba, which is a wonderful name, by the way. The most violent of all the amoebas. And he is in the process of... oh, he spotted the tank. He's getting ready. And there we go. The objective has been taken. He's come under fire from the tank. But that's a great play as far as the first cav are concerned. They've got in and got that point. But now you can see the flag is starting to tick over. And this could be a very fraught situation for them as far as they're concerned. They've got to stay out of the way of that tank. Their enemy tank is engaging them, but right now it's a bit of a standoff, I'd say, Wild.
It is a bit, and 1stCav need to be just a little bit careful here. As we saw before, when they got themselves into a defensive position, they allowed themselves to be outflanked and outgunned here. But as long as Mitchie here can get the kills and not go down, which he does, taking Timothy out is a big kill. He was, as we saw, a star player in the last round, and 1stCav really doing a decent job. Again, their tank, again, doing a decent job, really playing the distraction game at the moment. And I wanted to draw your attention to the alpha flag, with Ozdrab here somehow managing to sneak behind and has already started to capture it.
Oh yes, that's very behind the line sneakiness going on here from Ozdrab. And the question is whether or not the enemy team will spot it or they'll be able to do the damage. There we go, down goes Pepe, and he's finished off. It looks like the guy's rounded on him. But
1stCav missed such an opportunity there.
Oh, no, that could have been such a close moment for them. But now you can see you've got Stubentega in there helping to capture the flag, changing the ownership onto those opposing team members. And it looks like the members of 1stCav will be trying to get in there as quickly as possible. And the guys from 1st's Academy moving in. We shall follow the most violent of all the amoebas as he makes his way in towards the objective, which has recently been lost, but they're looking to recapture it as quickly as they can. And you can see they've pretty much dumped a huge amount of people on that flag to try and outnumber the likes of mysebi, who just got shot in the face. And it looks like they're going to change the ownership pretty quickly, but TMV 655 is sniffing around and looking for a kill. Or 6.
Yeah, we've seen the tanks getting a lot closer as well before, with Mick moving from the windmill there all the way down by wooden logs, and I think he gets the better of the 2 hits exchange here. He's managed to track TMV, which is going to be absolutely crazy, and I think looks like they traded tanks there, if I'm not mistaken.
That's exactly what happened.
Which is very big for the 1stCav guys, because I think it now allows them to get more boots on the ground. And again, it's just you've got the control leader up at the top here on Alpha, allowing his teammates to spawn on the Alpha flag. He just has to rely on his teammates on Bravo to hold that Bravo flag just for long enough till they cap Alpha, which might happen here. It's going to be a race against the clock at this point.
It is that way at the moment.
There we have it. Oh, they nearly decapped Bravo, and it locked just in time. And with half of the academy guys having to
Oh,
turn
goodness
around,
me.
and push back to Alpha. This is something that I haven't seen in incursions yet. This is something completely new and a new strategy that I've seen. Abandoning that middle flag and just going straight for the enemy's home flag.
Yeah, that's a pretty radical attempt, and it worked out completely for them. And as a result of that, they have a massive advantage now. And obviously,
well, now they get free tickets every flag every cycle. Now they get 3 tickets instead of the standard 2.
Now the question is, their raid leader, who is Nayat, Wiz Nayat, is he actually in this area somewhere? I think they may have just lost him. I think Wiz Nayat has just been finished off, so it's whether or not they can actually survive. No, they've all been wiped out to a man, but look at that, the end of the round. You were talking about those tickets, you were talking about the additional points that they're going to get as a result of that. 8-3. Holy crap, that last play in the last few minutes, that was serious arse-kicking now, I have to say.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more there. It's absolutely crazy. Like, after those first 2 sets, they must have, well, those 6th and 7th set anyway. I can't imagine what must have been going through your head and what the verbal abuse you would have been taking from your team captain to be able to go 2 sets and just get 1 ticket, 1 kill on the board. And then all of a sudden, they again turn that beast mode